Salam dostlar. Dostlar, sizi çox istəyirəm.
Mənim belə bir velosipedim var. Mən hər gün bu velosipeddə sürürəm dostlar. Bunu da sizə göstərmək istədim. Belə bir böyük bir velosiped deyil, amma mən yəni sürə bildiyim qədərdir. Mavi rəngdədir. İndi baxın, yəni belə çox qəşəng velosiped. Mən bu öz velosipedimi də bəyənirəm. Və həmçində yəni bizim videolarımız çox gəlmir, çünki hələ karantina olduğuna görə hələ çox gəlmir. Amma bu karantin bitdikdən sonra yəni dəniz videolarımızı davamlı da gələcək. Sonra həyətdəki videolarımızdan da davamı gələcək. Bu dəvət məsələlərini birlikdə. Yuxarıdan da Xuman videosu baxa bilərsiniz. Xuman tezə bir qutu açılımı elədi. Çox maraqlı, bu qədərdir. İndi keçək videoya. Oradaki yeməklərə, yəni bir tort videosudur. Oradaki yeməklərə belə
Hey everybody, this is Dave from Cook and Share, and today we're making up a cheesecake with bits of Oreo cookies in it. And let's face it, who doesn't love Oreo cookies? It's simple, delicious, you simply can't go wrong. So let's get started with our no-bake Oreo cheesecake. What I have here is some Oreo cookies, and I'm going to use the whole cookie because the filling adds a little bit more flavor. What you need to do is put them in a mixing bowl and crush them up until they're nice and crumbly. You can use just about anything you want to crush them up with. In this case, I'm just using a meat tenderizer. And this is about the way it should look, and of course this is going to be our base. Then I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and I should mention that this is about 8 cookies here. I'm just going to fold everything together until I get a wet sand mixture. Now what we're going to do is add this to the bottom of a 5-inch springform pan. Basically you can use anything you want, or if you want to make a 10-inch, you simply double the recipe. I'm just going to take my spatula and pat everything down so it's nice and flat and even. Okay, what I have here is 250 milliliters of whipping cream, and just make sure that you chill this beforehand because it makes it a lot easier to work with. So what we're going to do is take our mixer and we're going to beat this until it basically doubles in volume and you have some nice peaks happening. And this takes somewhere in the neighborhood of about 3 to 5 minutes. Until it's just about like this. This is perfect. Now what I'm going to do is add 100 grams of cream cheese to a mixing bowl, and you want to make sure this is at room temperature as well. Followed by 3 tablespoons of confectioner sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we're just going to take our electric mixer once again and beat it until a nice cream forms. You can use a whisk as well. Then we're going to add our whipped cream to the cream cheese mixture and beat it together. Next I'm just going to use my hands and break up a couple of Oreo cookies into tiny bits. It really depends on your preferences, but this is about the way I like it. Then we'll add the cookie bits into the cream cheese. And I'm going to take my spatula and fold everything together until I reach the top of the pan. Then smooth it out using my spatula. Okay, we're going to finish this off by putting some small broken up pieces of Oreo cookies over the top. And you can be as creative as you want here. You can even use whole Oreo cookies. At this point in time, what you need to do is put this in the fridge for a few hours to chill. You could even put it in the freezer.
Dostlar, mən indi ikinci videomu tapdım. Burada da bir dənə tort, indi də adı da burada oxuduğunuz kimi bir dənə tortdur, amma belə bir qab dolusu, kova dolusu, yəni böyük bir tort eləməyin sirlərindən açır. Yəni sizdən videodan başlayalım.
Alright, so we're just going to get this nice and smooth, and then we'll follow the directions that are on the back of the package. Do you guys ever had that like cheesecake, the Japanese cheesecake? Yeah. Cloud cake or whatever? Yeah. Like you touch it and it jiggles like a belly?
Jigglypuff cake.
It's so good. This kind of tastes like that.
I can make my belly do that, actually.
Really?
how I know I need to go on a diet.
Yeah, my six-pack just gets harder when I do that.
Mine really does. Just kidding. All right, let's turn this guy up. That looks pretty good and creamy. Meats I'm using. It's great. Brendan, I made you some soup.
Looks delicious.
In Wisconsin, that might be a soup. Cream cheese and egg.
Ugh.
Come on in.
Cream cheese drop soup.
That's so gross. All right, we'll
Want some fried okra while you're here?
add our oil. Fried okra is like Southern. Oh. This mixer is crazy. There we go.
It's a haunted mixer.
I think it is, because sometimes low is like really high. All right, we'll add our water. All right, so now we'll add our cake mix in. I'm doing 2 cake mixes because these make 8-inch rounds. They make 2, so I want 4 8-inch rounds.
So is this a recipe even Brandon could do?
Totally. Brandon made the, what did you make?
I made your ice cream sandwiches.
Ice cream sandwiches. Wet for 2 minutes, but it is nice and white, which is good, which means when we color it, the colors will stay true. All right, let me get this grape and then we'll pop it up. It's funny, it actually does smell like cheesecake now that all that sugar's in there. All right, so go 2 minutes and I'll clean up my mess. Okay, now we're gonna divide it into 4 different bowls.
I have box mix for all my food.
Is that what you eat? Mm-hmm. I only eat the batter. I'm on a raw diet.
Smurf lives next to the red thing from the Bugs Bunny
Okay,
cartoon.
that's paint.
Oh, it looks red on my monitor,
Paint.
sorry.
Well, your monitor is off.
And then the slice of Barney goes on top of that.
Okay, now I'm gonna get this in the cooler to firm up completely, and then we'll trim the sides, we'll crumb coat, and then we'll final coat. I'm trimming the sides just a bit to make sure there's enough room between the board and the cake for buttercream.
Can I have those cake nachos?
Cake nachos.
We haven't tried that yet.
It works even better when they're multicolored like this. Don't throw those away. I'm gonna put a plate together.
Remember that time I made up cake nachos and James stole it while I had to keep working?
He's legit over there eating your cake.
It was crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm box mix. But do you know who my dad is? Pepperidge Farm.
All right, I'm gonna get this in the cooler to let it firm up, and I'll get all my decorations and we'll put on our makeup.
Yes, Tiffany loves makeup.
Make her look pretty. Now comes the fun part, decorating. So this is the sprinkle mix that I made. That
Sprinkly.
It was the inspiration for the inside, James.
Oh.
You'll see when we cut it. So we're gonna put that around first. All right, once we get out there, I'm gonna leave it. That looks beautiful. I like my workspace to have sprinkles. How about that? I'm gonna put it on this dark. There we go. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is some drizzly drippies. So what I did was I took the same frosting and I just put it in the microwave for about 15 seconds, and it almost makes like a mirror glaze. So we're gonna do this just along the outside.
It's the drizzly spoony said you better watch out, because if you don't watch out, you'll get drizzly spooned.
And what else think it's super cool that we use the same icing for drizzly drippies that we did for everything else?
I mean, it's still store-bought.
It's still easy. Okay, so now we're gonna pipe around here, same frosting, but I wanna stripe the bag so we get colors from the inside on the top too. So I have a little bit of pink, a little bit of blue, and a little bit of purple, the same colors we used on the inside. And we're just gonna take a skewer, just kind of rub some in here before we put our frosting in. So we already have our tip in here ready to go. I'm just gonna take a little bit of pink here. Just gonna kind of wipe a little bit inside.
What's it look like in there?
A murder scene.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, it's a cake murder.
Hey, sometimes there's cake carnage. It happens.
Cake murder.
So then we'll do some purple on one side.
Hey Joshua, you want to hear some viewer comments and questions?
Let's, please.
All right, Brittany Smith
What's up, Brittany?
said, I made the vegan chocolate cake and I was surprised with how good it turned out.
Easy moms.
Said, watching the bloopers, how do you guys get anything done? Went to bed the other night. That's
Like
what
with
it's
the
written, so
bee?
I'm choosing to believe that that's how it
That's so sweet.
Yep. That's how Brandon talked until
Right.
the second season.
I love butter queen.
Yep.
Şundaki bezeler.
Brandon didn't even know he was on a show for like 5 years.
Yani
Yeah, I didn't know that people watched this.
Now,
more
sprinkles.
Naturally.
We gotta fill the center.
JJ Sprinkles. We got sprinkles on sprinkles on sprinkles. The only DJ that plays all chords in the machine.
That would be, they would be like, God, turn this guy off. I found some fun things at the store. Cherries are awesome, so we're gonna finish. Mix cake is complete, and I think she turned out super festive. Let's cut her. This tastes like I made it.
But wait, you did make it. Oh, I see. I see what you did there.